Hi, welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I'm taking a look at Transformers Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. And I don't remember, does he have a number, or is it just... Oh, 8604, there it is. Alright, so here we've got Hot Rod, and he is a Studio Series Deluxe. And I mean, this is my first 86 Studio Series, but I knew the idea going in. These are all... characters from the 86 movie, and they are as G1 as G1 gets in the Generations style, which I guess this technically isn't a Generations figure since it's Studio Series, but Hot Rod here is looking like a pretty sweet futuristic sports car like we expect him to. We do get our little mural piece thing, backdrop. There we go. So we can display him up there in vehicle mode if we want. We can set that aside. Come back in on him. Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, probably the most G1 accurate Generation style Hot Rod figure, especially in alt mode, and definitely in bot mode that we've gotten so far. And I think it's going to be a little tough to top this one. He's as narrow and, wedge-like as you want him to be. He is looking pretty good. I will say, this is not my favorite Hot Rod. We can compare him real quickly to some other Hot Rods we've got. Here is my current Hot Rod. This boy right here. This was like, what was this at the time? Classics, way back when on the mold. But I have him with the Defender armor, and that's my Rodimus Prime in my collection, and I still really like that. And I think, obviously you can see like the vehicle mode differences here. This is more accurate, but I just like the way this one looks a little better. Something about it just, to me, is more interesting as a vehicle mode. We've got the Power of the Primes Hot Rod mold. My version is the Unicron Rodimus, Nemesis Hot Rod, or whatever you want to call him. And again, what we're noticing here is how small this guy is, which again, Studio Series cares a lot about robot mode scale, which makes sense. But again, we can see here, just how kind of itty-bitty he is. This is, of course, a leader figure, so here's, two deluxes on top of each other. We can see kind of how they stack up against what Studio Series Hot Rod is going for. And then my personal favorite Hot Rod is from Titan's Return. I don't have him as Hot Rod in my collection. I have him as Mask Thunderhawk, but here is Thunderhawk. And I just really, really like this design. The stickers obviously do a lot for Thunderhawk. But again, we can see, kind of looking at Hot Rods together, how much of a small boy our Hot Rod is. But that's not to say that this isn't a cool and interesting figure. We do have bits that will show off in robot mode, but the two that we can show off in alt mode, I really like that the Studio Series 86 figures are coming with blast effect parts. So for his guns, we get these blast effects, which they look pretty sweet. We can take his guns off of him, set them aside for now. And yeah, I think this is just a very, if anyone's been unhappy with the modernization of the Hot Rod design and you just want a Generations Hot Rod figure that looks like he walked off the movie screen, this is the one to go for. The only way I think you get more accurate than this is to go into the Masterpiece Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime figures, which those are impressive in their own right, but obviously that's not the same price point. So, to get into transformation for this guy, first we're going to come in and we are going to, I gotta remember, the backs of his legs build the back of his vehicle mode, and they are tabbed into this rear spoiler piece here. We want to come in and we want to untab them from the sides, which lets us take and separate out this rear spoiler. We can just flip it around, keep it out of the way for now. The sides of the vehicle make up his arm and then part of his leg, and they connect at these pipes here. We're going to wiggle those out on each side, and yeah, those come separate. And now it's a lot easier to get into his legs. We come in and we are going to separate the wheels from the front of his shin, flip that whole assembly out, and that lets us rotate the whole thing out, extend that leg. We flip down his foot, flip in his wheel piece, flip that piece in again. We create a calf and one solid leg joint there. Same thing on this side, coming in, opening things up, flipping things down, flipping this out, and then flipping in the wheel. There we go. 1 and 2. Right here. We can stand him up now, and we're going to pull our camera up a little bit. Now that we have this taken care of, we can rotate around his waist, and we see that we've got that hot rod chest already, and then we just got to take care of the front of his vehicle. So we separate at a couple locations. The front of his wheel well tucks into the front of his car, and we just want to make sure we separate that connection there and there. We're going to pull back his hood. There's the yellow piece. Come on. This whole piece can come up, and that lets us flip out his head, like so. But then also the front of his hood separates from this yellow piece, if I can get it. Maybe I'm totally doing this wrong. I thought this piece, there we go, flips the other way around. Okay. That piece opens up on the hood, which lets us flip in his headlights, flipping in this his traditional car hood. Before we do that, we can take his hood and we can spin the whole thing around on this joint, which lets us flip in this piece and then flip everything behind, putting his shoulders in the right spot. And that, to me, is a really clever piece of transformation that I really, really like. We can close in his back piece. There is a tab that connects his spoiler to his backpack, giving him a really, really tight and clean robot mode, especially for, a Generations figure. Opening up at the elbow lets us flip his wrist out in place, and then we can close things up by rotating the pipes and then closing this pin in on that hole there. Studio Series here, I think, shows off the engineering that can go into these figures really, really well. This is, out of Transformations, this is, again, probably my preferred hot rod transformation. I think they just did a lot of good design work here. And now that we have him transformed, we're actually going to cut away real quick to see the winner of last week's Shattered Glass Optimus Prime giveaway. So let's go see who won that. All right, so this is the part of the video where I'm going to announce the winner of last week's giveaway, which last Tuesday during my review video for the Transformers Generation Select Shattered Glass Optimus Prime and Ratchet 2-pack, I said that I love Shattered Glass Ratchet and he had a spot on my shelf, but as cool as the deco on Optimus Prime was, I didn't find a spot that I was comfortable with him being in my collection, so I decided to give him away. I tend to do that with figures. I just want to keep my collection at a manageable size, and it already is pretty big, so I tend to do giveaways pretty often. Here are the different entries. I believe we had 36 entries. Again, if you haven't entered a giveaway before and you're curious about how I do them, all you have to do is leave a comment that lets me know you're interested. Put in the comment, I want to enter the giveaway, because people sometimes, like Shadow Ruto here, said, hey, I appreciate the video, but I don't want to sit in on that giveaway. So I don't give him a heart, which just helps me keep track of who's in on the giveaway and who's not. So I took those names and I put them in a Google Sheet over here, and we're going to draw our winner. Google's going to generate a random number for us. I misspelled, didn't I? There we go. Nope. Now? Okay. 10. Tim Albrecht. Tim Albrecht, you won today's giveaway. Well, not today's giveaway, but last week's giveaway with Optimus Prime. So Tim Albrecht, I know you've entered giveaways before, but I think maybe you haven't won one before, so congrats. And just a reminder, you can reach out to me My personal Discord, C Edashami hashtag 5069, is on the YouTube About page. Same with Twitter and all that other stuff. Let's find Tim. There you are. Yeah, you just reach out to me, give me your shipping address, and then I will get him bundled up and shipped out to you this week. Congratulations. All right, now that we're back to talk about his robot mode, I mean, again, this is a great representation of the hot rod that was on screen in the 1986 Transformers film. And in terms of articulation, well, first off, let's get in on that head sculpt. It is a pretty great head sculpt. I like the life that we see in his eyes and his soft facial features. This does seem that youthful hot rod look. I dig that a lot. His, head articulation is pretty good. There's a good wiggle there. His shoulder articulation is nice. The bits of his front end of his car, the raised shoulder pieces, don't get in the way of that shoulder articulation. He doesn't have a double-jointed elbow, but he has a pretty good bend due to the way the sculpting was cut, which I appreciate. He does have elbow twist, and he does have wrist and hand articulation, which is neat, and we'll get into why he needs that in a little bit. He's got a twist at the waist. He's got hips that go forward and are unencumbered by his skirt. There's no real backpack to encumber anything, but unfortunately, this is like the minor nitpick I have, which is that the way they sculpted his back of his hip, it does prevent him from kicking back as far as I'd like. He does have a double-jointed knee joint that only gets encumbered by the back of his calf, which is, to me, is not a big deal. That's still a great curve on that knee. He's got, due to transformation, he's got that weird joint there, but you don't have to worry about that too much. And then he does have ankle tilt forward and back and sideways. And yeah, so you can get him in some action-y poses, no problem. And he looks pretty good doing it. We can give him his guns and bring his stage forward a little bit. Yeah, and again, that looks pretty sweet. And I think that anyone who wants a G1 hot rod, this is the one to get now. You don't have to really worry about the other generations figures. In terms of his other accessories, because it is a Studio Series 86 figure, he does come with, the deluxes tend to come with accessories. So we've got this matrix piece that looks really nice. It has an effect piece for it, which is awesome, that you can slide in like so. That soft plastic give it that matrix shine. If we get his guns off, we can put it in his hand. What I tend to do is open up his hand and hook it through his thumb. And same thing on this side, hook it through his thumb and then just close the hand around it. And then you can kind of have him trying to, there we go, bring that in sideways. You can hold the matrix above him, which is awesome. I dig that he can do that. And then, as we saw, due to transformation, he did have other features in his wrists. So we can open things up again. Come on. There we go. He's got his little tool. There we go. And then on the other side, we can flip things around. And we can give him his pizza cutter. Yay! So, he comes with plenty of stuff. And I think for the deluxe price point, this is a great hot rod. If you notice, as cool as he is, I don't seem that excited about him. And I think that's because owning him, playing around with him, his engineering is great, his style is great. I mean, those colors look awesome. I love the maroons. I love the paint apps they gave us on the chest. That looks super clean, the silver. This is an awesome representation of movie Hot Rod. I just think I don't care about movie Hot Rod all that much. We can put him next to his other Hot Rod depictions. Here's the classics one, and this is the easiest one that if this was your Hot Rod up until now, upgrade. Easy. Right, easy recommendation. Look at the difference there. That's the easy upgrade. I'm going to keep this guy because I like the trailer and the Defender armor set. And there's no point in me comparing those because that's Rodimus Prime, and there's that rumor that Transformers Kingdom is going to have a leader class hot rod, which is essentially a remold of this that also upgrades into Rodimus Prime. So I want to get that and then compare with the Defender armor versus this with the trailer and armor. Hot rod, if you have Titan's Return hot rod, which like I do here, again, here is, Thunderhawk from the hot rod mold. And I just like this guy. I like his look. I like these big arms. I like the style here versus the style here. The 86 G1 style just doesn't do much for me, and this just seems visually more interesting to me. So I like this mold more than I like this one, even though I think it's right. It's the meme this is brilliant, but I like this. Then we have the leader hot rod before he powers up with his trailer. Again, this is the better hot rod out of all of them. That's fine. The 86 hot rod, that is a great hot rod. Studio Series knocked it out of the park with this guy. For me, here's going to be the core of my Rodimus Prime because I like that Defender armor so much. And then I like this Thunderhawk version. And then I like that evil hot rod, Unicronus hot rod. Hopefully we get a repaint. That's what I'm looking forward to. There was a Universe Blue hot rod or TFCC. There have been weird hot rod repaints like Excellion and stuff. Eventually I hope we get one of those weird repaints from Generation Selects, and then I would love to own this mold in those colors. But until then, he just doesn't find a spot on my shelf, which is, unfortunate for me, but fortunate for you guys, because that means I am doing another giveaway. So as you saw in the middle of this video when I announced the giveaway winner, I'm doing the same thing here. In the video comments, just say, hey, I want to win Hot Rod, and I will draw a winner 1 week from today, from when this video comes out. And in next Tuesday's video, that video will have the winner of this giveaway. Then you can reach out to me via, however you want on social media, and I will get Hot Rod packaged up and to you with all his accessories and his, box and everything. And again, I think it's a great figure. It's just not for me, which is unfortunate because it is a really good figure. This has made me excited about Studio Series again. Next week, I'm probably going to look at Scourge, which I don't imagine will be a giveaway because I don't think you can have too many Scourges. Sweeps are just a really easy army to build. So I'm looking forward to that because yeah, this is pretty exciting. Studio Series has great engineering, and now there's an aesthetic that appeals to me. So I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of what they've got to offer. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you all later. See you, everyone.